guys remember the video we went over with Cam and Jimmy going back and forward? Jimmy was with Justin LeBoy. He was talking about private parts and all that and then being on it.
Them niggas got nothing else to think about but Cap.
Interview with 50.
Be on my dog. Got nothing else to think about but Capo. I did a lot for them in their life, you heard? Both of them. Pause though, get off my There's only space on there for baby girl, man. Shit, come on, man.
Being on it, but Cam responds back and Cam crashes out. Cam goes crazy. I already said Jimmy didn't want to do this because we already saw the Hot 97, Jimmy going, you know, getting aggressive, getting tight, and then Cam doing a 2-hour Instagram live, going crazy again. He's too funny of a dude. He's a good roaster. He's a good pot stirrer. He's good at it. So I was like, yo, Jimmy don't want to go back and forth with Cam. Just leave it alone. But there's one thing that Cam said. He names a couple people and says, bro, every time people got love for you, you want to act gangster with them. Every time dudes put their hands on you, you become friends with them and make up with them. He names True Life. He names Mandizis. He names a handful of other guys, but Maino was one of the people that he named. Remember that.
They disagree with you and don't want to take it that route because they got some genuine love for you. You keep going on and on and on. Put hands on you or you get to altercation, you cool with them. I see you with C Gutter. Junior Mafia, cool. I see you taking pictures with True Life. It's cool. Man, DC, y'all having sit-downs to work out. Gunshots was let off with that. Y'all having sit-downs to work it out. You tried to chase French Montana out the game. That ain't work out. Y'all got cool. So cool that you go to his video shoot. Pardon me, not his video shoot, his movie. You're sitting in the crowd watching the premiere, and they dissing you in the movie. You in the movie getting dissing. You got to eat it, just sitting in the crowd. They dissing you in the movie that you went to go see, bro. You ever wonder how you met Maino? Ask him how he met Mayo. Mayo gonna downplay because they cool now. He tried to press Maino one day because Maino first came out. He had a little record where he was saying, dissing the rappers. I don't know, he's dissing, he said his name. So Jim Plus see Maino one day and was like, yo, what's up with all that saying my name? Maino said, who the f you talking to? Oh, you think I want? Now they the lobby boys. Every night that do something to put pressure on you, you sit there and work it out. But when got a little genuine.
Maino responds back to it because he said you and Maino almost got into it and now you had a lobby boys. Remember that whole thing? Maino responds back. Now, what does Maino have to say? I haven't seen this yet. I'm super curious. Remember, Maino's on the way up with Angela Yee on that show. So Maino addresses everything going back and forth. What does he say? Before we check that out, guys, make sure you sub to the channel. We're on that road to 10,000 subscribers. If you haven't seen some of the unboxings I do on this channel, go check those out. We're doing a giveaway at 10,000 subs. All you have to do is sub up to this channel. 10,000 subs. We're going to name the winner on my Instagram story. So all you got to do is sub up to the channel. Follow me on Instagram. 10,000, we naming the winner, we doing an unboxing and we giving it away. Let's see what Maino had to say. Also, there's another video after this that I want to check out with DJ Envy. DJ Envy speaks about back in the day. Remember, Envy was a big DJ in New York back in the day. Envy speaks about back when he was with Mace and all them and going around New York City and all that. He remembers Jim Jones being the muscle for Cam and Mace. And one thing we do see Cam say is, you're cooler with those guys than me, speaking about the 9 trades from New York. He says Shoddy, Mel Matrix and all them. Jimmy's closer to them than him. So was that the way that the muscle was? Was it, remember, Wells, the whole Diplomat, everybody was waving that red flag. Everybody in the whole Dipset was waving that red flag. But the older we got, it looks like the only person that was actually affiliated with that squad in the 9 trade was Jim Jones. Was that the protection that Dipset had at one point? And Maino's basically talking about his version of how to rob. It's not how to rob 50 Cent, but he had a similar song when he first came in the game when he named a whole bunch of rap. And Cam said he named you and all that. Maino fixed like, whoa, I never named him. I named you. I named Camron on the song. And Jimmy just happened to be his man and stood up for him. I wanted to give you guys some context before we got into the video.
I mentioned him in the song. I ain't mentioned Jim. So early on, my Jimmy and my tension came from me mentioning Cam.
Okay.
So Jimmy didn't like me, so we would kind of see each other and kind of like, you know, have these, you know, maybe face fights. You understand? Nothing ever happened, right? So we're in Atlanta, you know, and we had a conversation. He didn't approach me and impress me and none of that. We had a conversation. It wasn't spectacular. Nobody swung. Nobody. You know, I think the thing is this: you could dislike a person from a distance because you think you don't like them, right? But once we started to talk and we seen that we had things in common, we was cool from that point on. We've been way cooler than we was than we was off. You understand? Because we didn't know each other.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. So the thing is, so when you say that you gotta understand that energy for me was for Cam. You understand? So that it was for Cam. That was his energy for me. Like he, you know.
So it was kind of true, but exaggerated.
It wasn't the conversation didn't go like that.
Okay,
it wasn't
right. There was a little bit of an issue, but it wasn't as big as.
It wasn't.
Okay.
It was definitely some tension there. It was definitely it needed to be addressed, and a conversation was had, and that happened in Atlanta.
How do you face fight? What is?
You know, I mean, the face fight is like, you know, you looking, I'm looking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like
The situation he's talking about that happened in Atlanta is the situation we reviewed from Vlad TV where he's talking about the mall, and Jim Jones was coming down the escalator with 45 guys. He was 6 deep. He's going up the escalator. Him and Jimmy make eye contact. He said Jimmy went down, came right back up and followed him. They got into a little argument. That day they spoke, and ever since that day, that's when they squashed the beef and they became cool. If you guys don't remember that, I'll show a quick little recap.
It was coming down, and when I seen them, I seen Jim, and I seen a bunch of I already used to seeing him with, because you know we had a couple of little, you know, in the past, like we would see each other, and I'm like, man, the line going down the escalator was so long. It was like 12? Damn, it's still going. Like, and I was just like, man. So it was me and my brother 80 and maybe 2 other people. I was with a girl, and you know, I'm walking, and they came back up the escalator. But they walked on the side of me, and you know, I stopped. I had to stop because and you know, we got into a little some words. But the thing about that is that we actually talked right there, and once we talked, we was cool ever since. Because the thing about it is, like, you can have an opinion about a nigga. You could think you not like a nigga. It's because you don't really know him. You don't know how much you really got in common with him. You understand? So it's like, it really wasn't no beef. Nothing never happened. It ain't like happened, somebody threw something, or it was a fight, or it was something. Nothing ever happened.
Just trolling, basically.
Yeah, it was all me. So, you know, I'm placing the blame on myself.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. At the end of the day, Cam is a lot more funnier and everything, but being a supporter, you can even call me a fan again. I've been a supporter, fan of Diplomats, since before I was even 13, bro. I was a kid. And I remember looking up at Dipset, like, yo, they were like superheroes. They would fly, they were the coolest guys, they were drinking scissor everywhere, that purple scissor. The music was fire. I remember Bout It with Master P. Like, there's a lot of songs that weren't radio hits, but I loved in the city. Jim Jones, I was always a huge supporter. Again, I like Max B. You know how many arguments I got into high school because after that whole beef happened, I was like, nah, Max B's ungrateful. I'm rocking with Jim Jones. I'm rocking with Jimmy. I'm a diplomat to the day I get out of this world. I'm rocking with Jimmy. I'm rocking with the Diplomats. When they started beefing and they made Skull Gang, Bird Gang, the Vamp Life, and then Jimmy, and then Cam stayed Dipset alone and had like Vado, and any of them, like, it just broke my heart. Yeah, there was some hits here and there from all of them. Really more Joel Santana with the Skull Gang. He had a hit, and I remember Jimmy had a couple. Today, I always tell you guys, currently 2015, 2025, the last 10 years, Jim Jones is by far my favorite rapper. Bro, the El Capo album was fire. Like, Jimmy's really be fire today. Even that last track he just dropped on the Cash Cobain beat. Real. That was another smacker. You know why I used to sell that work down in? Real. I used to bag up some baddies down in? Real. Me and my cousin used to break night and go get McDonald's down in? Real. Like, it was a heavy hit, and that just came out a couple weeks ago. Camron was going back and forth with Mace, dropping diss tracks on diss track. Didn't Cam drop like Purple Haze 2 or 3? And he dropped a diss track to Mace on like a Colombian beat, cartel beat. Bro, I heard Bass's reply and I heard Cam's diss, both of them, one time. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. It was shock battle. Never did I go back to it again. Jim Jones' music, I'm still rocking with. Overall, though, out the crew, Cam has my favorite discography, bro. Come Home With Me is one of my favorite albums in hip hop. It's probably top 20 ever. My favorite for sure came out. Killer Season was fire. The movie was fire. Purple Haze, the album was fire. He even had a song with Kanye on it, fire. Not including Diplomatic Immunity and all that, because that was them as a crew. Joel's had heat too, though. Don't sleep on Santana with the 2 albums. I think the first album was like self-named Joel Santana. But he had the mixtape too, Back Like Cook Crack or something like that, volume like 1 through 8. Fire. Harlem Diaries by Jimmy, fire. Bro, I love their music. I like them individually. I like them together. Just my heart broke as I became an adult and they broke up, and they really, really broke up, and they all started making their own music. I was like, damn. Cam and Jimmy going back and forth like this. This happens every so often. I wish one day they could just squash that beat. You guys were like, yeah, nah. My phone was going crazy when the Locks beat Dipset, because I was talking reckless. I ain't gonna lie. Jadakiss, if you ever see that video that I made on this YouTube channel talking about that verse, I said you was the only one. What Styles P gonna play? I get high and become a hype man to Jadakiss for all his greatest hits, because the Locks as a crew don't got enough hits to go against Dipset, which they don't. We saw they started playing Jadakiss mixtape freestyles. Like, that's not the Locks, that's a Jadakiss single. If they went crew to crew, I don't think it's possible. The thing about them is that they're still performing today. They still have Fab, and Fab has great music, but it's not about Jadakiss's stage presence. It's amazing. You feel the performance. Like, I was feeling New York, this is my house. I was like, he had the Timbs on, everything. I was feeling the performance. Cargo shorts, I was feeling the performance. I was like, damn. You know, when your man's about to lose the fight, but you already pulled up with him, so you got to stay loyal. It's kind of how I felt watching that. And my heart was broken in 30 pieces watching. I literally made Incredible Hulk that day, bro. I don't even know if I showed it in the vlog. I think I did, but I bought Hypnotic and I bought a bottle of Hennessy. I was too young back then to drink the Incredible Hulk, so they were popping. So I drank it in like 2021 or whenever that battle happened. Guys, how do you feel about this back and forward? Do you feel like Maino's cleaning it up because he's now cool with Jim Jones and the Lobby Boys and he's obviously siding with Jim Jones? Or do you think Cam exaggerated a little bit to make the story sound better? The True Life one was crazy. I got copyright, so I had to take it out of the video so I didn't get a strike. It was crazy. I was like, bro, I literally showed a couple seconds from it. But if you guys never seen it, yo, True Life and Jim Jones were going back and forth crazy. I remember those videos, those DVDs I was buying, them Cocaine City DVDs back in the barbershop days, just to watch True Life go crazy on somebody. He was Rockefeller. I feel like he was just a muscle for Rockefeller. He was like the Latino section. Because I think Nori was Rockefeller too, but Nori was dropping bangers. Nori was dropping bangers with like Big Pun, Fat Joe and all that. He was dropping bangers by himself, Latino hits, English hits. True Life, I only knew him for causing trouble and going to prison. But Maino comes and clears it up with him. When we see True Life and everybody else come out and clear it out now, the thing about True Life is there's too many videos. And Max B, there's too many videos of them dissing Jimmy, so they can't say Cam exaggerated with that. But sub up, guys. I hope this gets squashed one day. You know, Diplomats is forever my favorite crew in the history of rap. And I hate to see the legacy go down this way. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate to see the legacy go down this way. Hold on, guys. We almost ended the video there. I forgot one major thing. We said we were gonna talk about the DJ Envy video in this, so let's show this as well. What he has to say. Envy was a pillar. Envy was around at this time. He was a big person in the industry. Curious to see what he has to say about being an outside looking in of the Dipset movement. I was a child, super young, but I was.
For me, it broke my heart as a Dipset fan. I'm like, dang, even though they do this all the time, it's like that shit.
Yeah, I had a whole crush on Jim Jones. I ain't gonna lie, I'm standing behind him. Well, actually, nah, because I ain't trying to get hit.
I'm just shocked they ain't smoothed all these issues over after all of these years. Like, this is not even the first time that we heard this.
But,
you can tell it's always been a problem.
But trying to prove that another grown man is.
Oh, no. It got real bad. It got real bad. We got more. Yeah, we got more audio. It got real bad. We're gonna have to come back.
That's in New York. But see, what Dipset and the Diplomats was Camron. Like, that was Camron. So Camron and Jewels were the rappers, right?
It wasn't just Camron.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
It was Freaky.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Camron and Jewels were the rappers. Freaky Zeke and Jim Jones was the muscle, right? That's what it was. Right. If you say something about Cam, Jones is popping up at the radio station with 30 people outside. That's how it was. Jim started to rap after that. But Diplomats was all of those four brothers. But Jim started to rap late. Jim was more the muscle. Jim was the one that was outside. He was the one that was getting the troops. He was the one getting the gold. So that was Diplomats. That's how that whole thing was very important. He was the one that was running around in the clubs, not just the bougie clubs, the dirty clubs, the dirty strip clubs with that flag, making DJs play it. And if anybody violated, he was the one that was sending the goals.
Movement.
And that's how the Diplomats thing started.
So it's strange to hear.
And he remembers because he was in those clubs. And I've always heard Freaky Zeke was the muscle. And I have heard Jimmy as well. He was like, Cam's right-hand man. Whatever Cam needed, Jimmy was right there. And that's why Jimmy on Hot 97 when he was screaming. I was a man. Nobody could tell me what to do, but I was a soldier first. Rocking. He was the muscle. If anybody dissed his brothers or the set that he was with, he was rocking it out. And we know his tie to Mel Matrix and the non-Trey. 30 dudes he was pulling up with was his little connection. Because we're not seeing Cam was ever repping Bloods after that, really. Cam was always throwing up the B's, throwing up the flags, everything. So was Joel's. Joel's always had the black or red flag on. We really didn't see Joel's with blue. I see him with an American flag more than I see him with a blue flag. They always had that red flag on. Even the red jackets with the flag print on. To see where it's coming to now. It is sad.
Cam act like it wasn't real.
Come at this man. That's wild. That's the part that I'm not like really.
And that's why I think it broke my heart. I know they're wrapping us up, but in the next hour I want to play a clip to your point, Envy, of Jim being the muscle from, you know what I mean? Like what you understand?
Him and Big Joe. Big Joe was the security back in the day. They used to run to the radio stations, the clubs. They were the ones that were running around New York City.
Cam even was like, nah, that wasn't true. That's not it. Let's tell the real stories about what happened when people really ran down on us. So we're gonna get to that at the top of the next hour. Okay.
We'll get to that.
BMF, I think that's what they probably gonna talk about. I'm not sure what Breakfast Club talked about, but there was a lot. I watched the whole Cam and their hands on Jimmy running. He called Mandeezy's last time when he went live for 2 hours. Basically talking about Jim pulled up to the projects over there and got beat up by Mandeezy's, which is crazy. I thought Mandeezy's was a nice guy. I was looking at him like, yo, he's a nice guy. I saw he went to jail. I'm like, what do you go to jail for? Tax invasion or something? I don't know. He don't look like a physical threat. And when he said I boo-bop somebody, I'm like, I don't know if I could believe. As a supporter, I just hope that one day we can get a world tour again and, they actually perform together. I seen them together 2019 and the presence on stage wasn't even what I prayed to see. I was happy that I finally got to see all three of them in the same building, but even the way that the concert went, you can tell they weren't cool. You could tell they were just doing the tour for either bread or exposure, or, they were back to at least an agreement a little bit, but I would never experience Dipset how Dipset was in 04, 05. I would never get to experience that, and I gotta just give it up. And as a supporter, Dipset always be my favorite crew, this does break my heart. But guys, sub to the channel. Please share your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think.